Morning to all. Today we are going to discuss fifth unit. Fifth unit totally discussing about software testing concepts. In this video we are going to discuss first two concepts of fifth unit. The first concept is software testing strategies and second concept is software testing. Before entering into software testing strategies, we need to know what is meant by software testing. Software testing means testing is the process of exercising a program with the specific intent of finding errors prior to delivery to the end users. This means testing is the process of exercising, that means executing a program to find errors prior to delivery to the end users. For example, if we are writing a program or developing a project, before delivery that one, that means before going to give the project to the end users, we need to test that one whether it may contain any errors or not. So that finding errors is comes under the process of testing. So this is the total overall concept of software testing. It's nothing but finding errors before giving delivery to the end users. So this is the concept of software testing. Now we are going to discuss the first concept in the fifth unit. Is nothing but a strategic approach. A strategic approach to software testing. So before discussing the concepts in strategic approach to software testing, we need to discuss general characteristics of software testing. So there are some few characteristics are there for software testing. Those are, first one, to perform effective testing, you should conduct effective technical reviews. By doing this, many errors will be eliminated before testing commences. That means before testing any program or project, you must conduct some effective technical reviews. So technical reviews means whenever a project is developed, periodically reviews are conducting whether we are developing a right product or not. To check that one, we are conducting some technical reviews. In that review period itself, we can find some errors and we can rectify them. While doing these types of technical reviews, many errors may be eliminated before testing commenced. So after commence the testing, we can find out some other errors. So before testing, by using technical reviews, we can eliminate some errors. So this is the first characteristics of software testing. The second characteristics is testing begins at the component level and works outwards towards the integration of the entire computer-based system. This means testing starting at the component level, that means basic level of the software development, and goes up to the completion of the software. So that nothing but the basic level is component level and the works outwards towards the integration of all the components, and finally entire computer based system is developed, total project is developed. Up to that, the testing is going on. So begins at the component level and goes up to the total entire computer based system developed. So from starting to ending, testing is there. Then third characteristic is different testing techniques are appropriate for different software engineering approaches and at different point in time. That means we are not using a single technique for the throughout the software engineering approaches. We are using different testing techniques for different software engineering approaches at different points in time. So we are not using single technique, we are using different technique for in different places for testing the softwares. Then the next characteristics is testing is conducted by the developer of the software and an independent test group also. So if it is a small project, testing is conducted by developer of the software only. If it is a large project, we may require both people. Developer is also conducting the testing and independent test groups are also used to test that project. So the last characteristics is testing and debugging are different activities, but debugging must be accommodated in any test strategy. So testing and debugging are different activities. Both are not same. Testing is used for finding the errors and debugging is used for rectifying the errors. But debugging must be accommodated in any testing strategy. So these are the generic characteristics of software testings. Then now we are entering into the actual concepts of strategic approaches to software testing. In that, the first concept is verification and validation. Verification and validation is one of the most important concepts in software testing. Now come to the first one, verification. Verification refers to the set of tasks that ensure that software correctly implements a specific function. That means what is meant by verification means it is a set of tasks that ensures the software correctly implements a specific functions. So what are the functions we need to implement in the software development software project, whether those specific functions are correctly implementing or not. Checking that one or verifying that one is nothing but verification. Then the second one, validation. Validation refers to a different set of tasks that ensure that the software that has been built is traceable to customer requirement. So validation verifies if it is also a set of tasks and it ensures that the software has been built is traceable to the customer requirements. So whether the software, what the software is developed, it satisfies the customer requirement or not, whether we built the right product or not. Verifying that one is nothing but validation. So whether we are implementing rightly or not, to checking that one is nothing but verification. Whether we built the right thing or not, whether it's satisfying the customer requirement or not, to saying that one is nothing but validation. So Bloom states this concepts in another way, nothing but verification. How verification means, are we building the product right? So this is nothing but verification. Then if you come to validation, it says, are we building the right product? So these are the two concepts, another concepts for verification and validation. So and we have some other attributes also for verification and validation includes a wide array of software quality assurance activities. So instead of software testing, we have some other activities also to check errors. So by using software testing, what we are finding out the errors, including to that we have some other attributes also to test to find out errors. So those are all the activities comes under verification validations also, and these verification validation includes a wide array of software quality assurance activities. Those are all called nothing but technical reviews, quality and configuration attributes, performance monitoring, simulation, feasibility study, documentation review, database review, algorithm analysis, development testing, usability testing, qualification testing, acceptance testing, and installation testing. These are all comes under software quality assurance activities. So with the help of these activities, we can find out some other errors instead of testing the concepts. So these are all the concepts we are discussed in verification and validation. Then the second concept is in strategic approach of testing is organizing for software testing. So organizing, how you want to organize software testing. So in that, the first point is software developer is always responsible for testing the individual unit of the program. So always the projects or programs are developed on the basis of some individual unit by unit. For example, so for a student, how we are teaching the lessons, we are teaching the lessons on the basis of unit by units. So the programs are also developed in the same manner. Programs are also developed in the form of unit by units. So if a single individual unit is developed, software developer is the responsible person for testing that single individual unit of the program. So that comes under unit testing also. We can say that one as unit testing also. So software developer is always responsible for testing individual units of programs, and we also say this concept as unit testing. Second point is the developer also conduct integration testing. So here what is meant by integration means, so programs are developed in the form of units, individual units. If 2 or 3 units are developed and we are combining that units, we are integrating that units. After integrated, developer conducted the test. It comes under integration testing. Then third point is only after the software architecture is complete does an independent test group become involved. So for testing your software, two persons are doing these testings. One is software developer and second person is independent test groups. So developer involved from starting onwards, whenever a unit of program is developed, he tests that unit. So only independent test groups are involved in the project testing after the software project architecture is developed. After the architecture, software architecture is completed, then only independent test group persons become involved. Then the next point is the main role of an independent test group is to remove the inherent problems associated with letting the builders test the things that has been built. That means, so whenever a program, a project is developed, the software developer always test that concept. After tested the developers, these independent test groups are also test that one to trying to find out the errors. So independent testing removes the conflict of interest that may otherwise be present. That means already the developers test that one, and again independent testers are also trying to remove some conflicts if they are present in that programs. So the next point is the developers and the independent test group, where test group people works closely throughout a software project to ensure that thorough test will be conducted. So whenever a project is developing and testing, developers and independent test group people are also wants to work closely throughout the software project to ensure thorough test will be conducted. While testing is conducted, the developer must be able to correct errors that are uncovered. That means whenever testing is going on, if the testers find out any errors, the developers must be able to correct that one which are uncovered in their development. So these are the points in organizing for software testing. Then the next concept, third concept in strategic approach to software testing is software testing strategies. A big picture. That means in this software testing strategies, the concepts are represented in the diagram itself. For example, let's come to the point. When you want to develop a project, first of all, you want to do system engineering. That means what type of project we are going to develop. For that project, what are the basic requirement things are required. Then second point is based on that engineering, we want to gather the requirements, whatever the requirements we need, we want to gather. After gather the total requirement, then we want to develop designs. Why? Because means architecture wants to develop. Before, if you want to write the code, we must require the structure. Basic system architecture wants to develop in the design phase. Then after the architecture or design is developed, then the developers are ready to write the code. The code is also developed in the form of units manner. Then a single unit is developed, then unit testing is conducted. Then after unit by unit, the developers are developing the code, then unit testing will be conducted. Then after completed the unit testing, the units, the individual unit of program is combined, integrating. Now after integrated the code or projects software, then the developer or the testers doing integration testing. After completed the integration testing, the combined units or integrated concepts are referred or verifying validation. Validation is going on. Then that comes under validation testing, whether we are developed the product right or not. After completed the total concept, finally the total project or system is developed, then if we conducted the testing, it comes under system testing, and this is the concept of testing strategies. Then the next concept is nothing but software testing steps. So how the steps are there in software testing? What are the steps we need to follow in software testing? It is explained on the basis of a diagram. So take these small pieces. So it's nothing but individual units. So programs or projects are developed basically unit by unit. These units are tested, which comes under unit testing. After completed the unit testing, these units are integrated. The combined, we find an integration component, integrated component. These integrated components are tested, which comes under integration testing. Then after completed the integration testing, then higher order testings are there. Then higher order testing means component testings and validation testing, system testing. All these testings are comes under higher order testing. So these are the steps we are following in software testing. Then the fourth point in strategic approach to software testing concept is criteria for completion of testing. So in the concept of criteria for completion of testing means, here they are saying as a clean room software engineering approach is suggesting some statistical use of techniques that executes a series of tests derived from a statistical sample of all possible program execution by all users from a target population. That means when a complete testing completion occurred means, for example, a project is developed, we want to find out first of all who is the user of these projects. So such people, we want to test this project in that such people, the target population. We are saying that one as target population. So with the help of those users and by using some approaches, statistical use of techniques and some statistical samples, we are executing series of executions is going on the program, and those people find out any errors, then again we want to test the project. If those target people does not find out any errors, they given a clear concept to your project, then the completion of testing is occurred. Up to that, the software testing procedure is followed. So this is the concept of strategic approach to software testing. Then the second concept is strategic issues. So when you are testing, what are the strategic issues are there? So in that, the first issue is you must specify the product requirements in a quantifiable manner long before testing commences. That means before starting the testing, you must specify what are the product requirements are there, to whom we are developed, what are the functionalities are there, what are the attributes are there, all the things you want to specify before starting the testing. Then the second one is you must specify the testing objectives explicitly. Explicitly you want to say what are the state testing objectives are there. Then third point is you must understand the users of the software and develop a complete profile for each user category. So this is most important point for software testing. because before starting the software testing of a project, you must understand who are the users of those software, and you must develop a complete profile for each category of users. Then only we can test the concept properly. And before testing, you must develop a testing plan that emphasizes rapid cycle testing. So we may not implement the testing directly. Before testing any project or any program, you want to develop a testing plan. Based on that testing plan, we are testing the projects. Then the next point is build robust software that is designed to test itself. That means before testing, we are testing a testing plan. With the help of that, we are developing some test strategies. To test those test strategies, we want to test another test concept. We want to conduct another test concept. Whether these testings or test concepts or test analysis may have any errors. To test that one, we need to develop another test concept. That test concepts are built more robustly to design to test itself. After find out whether what are the test strategies we are going to apply on the software, those things are may not have any errors. To getting that confirmation only, we are applying these test strategies on the software. The next point is use effective technical reviews as a filter prior to testing. That means we already discussed we have technical reviews. With the help of technical reviews, we can filter the errors prior to testing. The next issue is conduct technical reviews to assess the test strategy and test cases themselves. So for test strategy, to test the test strategies and test cases, we want to conduct technical reviews on the test strategies and test cases. Then the last one is develop a continuous improvement approach for the testing process. So what are the testing process we have? We want to develop a continuous improvement approach on those testing process. We may not stop the testing process up to a level. So we want to develop a continuous improvement in this testing process approach. So these are the two concepts we discussed in this video. Based on those concepts, here we have some assignment questions.